Alright, cool. Alright, Derrick, right?
Yes.
Alright. Alright. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Derrick Dunn. I'm from Okmulgee, Oklahoma.
Alright, and what is your position at Safe and Sound Recovery?
I'm a detox tech and assistant house manager
Oh, wow.
and shoot, client retention.
Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, can you describe your role in client tech retention and how it fits into the bigger picture?
So what I do, obviously the detox process, with the monitoring and all that,
How's that
and
go?
we get them in for intake at ground level, at square one,
Yeah.
and grow with them.
Mm.
And that's what I like to do is I like to go all the way down because I've battled substance abuse myself, and so I like to get all the way down here with them,
Mm.
and then grow with them, so that way they don't feel like they're alone in this.
Dang. That's a powerful role.
That's what I like to do.
Uh, so, are you said you're in recovery yourself?
Yes.
So how much time sober do you have? If you don't mind.
About 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yes, sir.
Dang. Have you had this long sober before?
Never.
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 So, for those out there that may be watching this, like, what did you do different this time around? You think?
So this is like I'm like a one and done.
Wow.
So I spent a lot of my life incarcerated,
Mm.
in which my family was like, "Oh yeah, maybe his addiction will subside now that he's locked up." And that didn't do anything but add more
Mm.
addictions. And so once I got out, I kind of went right back to the same thing, and um, then I had a motorcycle wreck right in front of the AANA club in Oklahoma,
Mm.
and so I was, kind of like, all right, I hear you, like here's your sign, right?
Wow.
And so I came up here for treatment and decided, it was just like a free ride vacation,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, I was like, man, it's beautiful here. I love it. I've accomplished way more in this 2 years than I have my entire life.
Mm.
So, I might just want to stick this out.
Mm.
And the thing that keeps me from going back is being of service to others, working with a sponsor. I have a sponsor who knows he's my sponsor,
Mm-hmm.
and I have others that I mentor and sponsees.
Dang. That's powerful. Huh? What was your drug of choice? If you don't mind.
Meth and heroin.
Meth and heroin
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Wow.
Little cocaine,
Wow.
that was pretty much a garbage
You
pail.
gotta say you didn't discriminate much.
Right.
Wow, man, that's powerful. All right, so what does client retention actually mean day to day here at Safe and Sound Recovery?
So with clients that are having a tough time, who aren't really on track, that are kind of trying to backslide possibly, and I reach out to them and see what we can do to better their stay here and also get them back on track.
Mm.
If they're, say that they're backsliding in their program, they're coming to groups, not really paying attention, acting, sideways or whatever it may be, then I step in and I'm like, hey man, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this? Sometimes it could be a slow decline or a fast decline. Like what's going on? Like, a lot of them aren't, some of them aren't aware of the pink cloud effect,
Mm.
so they're not expecting, to go from way up here, like, oh, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden they just slam down and they're like, and then they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so then I'm there to explain it. Hey, look, this is what we were trying to warn you about is this
Wow.
part right here, and and usually it works and it gets them back on track.
Wow. That's a
Also,
huge thing to point out.
I'm the fun guy. So like, I'm the guy that I was always, trying to stay active. Like I like to go out and do fun stuff. Go and see, different beaches and find awesome seashells and stuff like that too.
Dang.
And mindfulness.
Yeah. So speaking on like the seashells, so a lot of people that come here, are they local or it's from out of state?
Out of state.
Really?
Yeah.
So you show them the beach, which is a big deal.
Yeah. A
Huh.
lot of them have never seen the beach before.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And you're the first one, the person that actually gets to show them that.
And I get to see that look of awe on their face where they're like, oh. Like one of the female clients that we have, she actually dropped to her knees and just started praying and crying. Like
Wow.
tears were just streaming down her face, and she was just out there by the pier, just looking out. And I was like, "Are you ready?" And she was like, "No, just give me a minute. Just give me just a minute."
Jeez.
Wow, I got cold chills
I
right
know,
now.
me too.
Yeah,
That's that stuff.
yeah,
That's what.
yeah. That's what it's all about.
Oh, and it's interesting because your experience is so valuable in the role that you're actually like what you're doing right now.
Right.
You know, so that's powerful. What you said, especially about the pink cloud, and understand that's just a little temporary little thing, and
Yeah.
they come and go.
It comes back though,
Yeah,
and you can stretch it out longer.
yeah,
You just got to be aware of the risks that are there and be able to identify it. Like, oh yeah, I'm on my pink cloud right now,
mm,
and now this is great. Everything's awesome. I'm way up here, and then but then the minute it starts to dissipate or to fall, you're like, okay, I'm declining, and
mm,
you got to be able to recognize that to bring it back up.
yeah,
So that way it doesn't potentially put you back out in the streets.
yeah. Dang. All right, so what platforms or communication tools do you guys use to stay connected? Is there anything with the staff that you use, or is there some form of communication that you have with uh, the clients?
I go around to all the clients and I do check-ins with them. But within staff wise, our platform is obviously Slack,
Okay,
and that's how we communicate through our threads there.
okay. All right. Now, can you share a success story where uh, something extremely powerful, like the girl like looking out at the beach, like something that resonates with you, a memorable moment with the client?
Oh man, like I don't even know
Even if you
just
have
one.
a few,
I,
can you
I
go?
have quite a few actually.
What comes to mind?
Hold on, give me just a
Yeah.
minute because I have a lot. Like like for instance, having one client came in, completely anger issues, pretty bad, and then she wanted an AMA after 3 days, and then I got to sit down and talk with her and say, hey, like, and I'm actually referring to the same client that cried at the beach,
Oh wow.
but and she's like, I just want to go back home. I miss my dad, And I'm like, no. I was like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, just give it a couple more days. Give it a couple more days. And then that couple more days went by, and that's whenever I got to introduce her to the beach
Mm.
and show her there. And then next thing you know, it's like, and then I got to take her to a meeting, and she was like, okay, okay, I get it. This is cool. And then it just kind of, like circled around. And then she came back to me, and she's like, hey, she's like, thanks. Like I want to stay. I want
Mm.
to do this. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like we're making progress here.
Mm.
And then like just recently, her mom contacted me and was like, hey, I don't know what you guys are doing there, but her anger, whenever I speak to her, she's respectful. It's like subsided. She doesn't, glorify her alcohol or drug use anymore. She doesn't talk about her friends from back on the streets,
Mm.
and this is just within. She's made this change, this miraculous change in like 2 months,
Mm.
and it's like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And like, and she has a sponsor, and she's working the steps, and she actually has a really old man that's a sponsor that's like 43 years old, but or I'm at 43 years of sobriety.
Oh
So
wow.
like he's like a no BS sponsor,
Hmm. Old school.
Yeah, for sure. And so like I was like really proud of her for that.
And
And I don't know, it's just like it's really what I love the most is like getting to see clients come in that were just like me whenever I came in.
mm,
There's no light in their eyes, like don't mess with me, don't touch me, like, well, you know, don't mess with me, don't bother me, don't talk to me. I don't have nothing to say to you. You don't understand me. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I've been through.
mm,
Well, actually,
mhm,
we do. We may not be the same people that runs around in the streets together, but we've all suffered similar things. Like, if you want, I can give you a little bit of my story.
yeah, please do.
Like, so my addiction stemmed from whenever I was 7 years old.
Mm.
I got molested by a 34-year-old man, introduced to his private parts and a meth pipe.
Mm.
He led me to believe it was okay for us to be doing that. So that happened for about 2 years. And got away from him. Then I got around my cousin, and it started happening again. He introduced me to what a needle was. So then, and that numbed it all out. Like I didn't care, you know. And so that kept happening. And then at 12 years old, I learned how to make it myself from a Mexican guy.
Mm.
And then by the time I was 18, I was doing 10 years in prison for manufacturing. And
Wow.
so all that, like I never stopped to think like where did my addiction start? Like why am I even like this? You know what I mean? Like I just thought that maybe it was like, the course of life for the longest, because I'd gotten so numb to it and so used to it. But through prayer and meditation, honestly, I was laying there on the floor meditating during a group, and all of a sudden I just balled up and just curled into a little ball and just started bawling. And the lady that was facilitating the meditation, she just came over there and just kind of rubbed my head and she said, "It's okay, just let it out," like. And then after that, I just wrote this whole page. Like in the next group, it was a forgiveness letter to the person who did it to me, and like I don't blame him for everything that went wrong in my life, but I do blame him for the biggest thing, and that's my addiction.
Mm.
Because I don't think I would ever went down that path had he not introduced me to it.
Wow.
And all that being said, I honestly and truly forgive him. I wrote him a letter, sent it to him, and everything of forgiveness. And since I did that, I feel like so much, like a ton lifted off my shoulders.
Wow.
And
Wow. That's so within your family, did anyone else struggle with addiction in your family, or
oh yeah,
you did?
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
My mom, my uncles, like in my addiction, my mom had 14 years, and in my addiction, I'm the one that messed that up for her.
Oh wow. How'd that go?
Um, Pretty bad.
Wow.
It was my
Yeah,
first one. I'm not proud of it at all. I kind of got a smirk, but I'm not proud of it.
of course.
But she's clean now that I got clean again. So
Wow.
I was kind of like her enabler.
Yeah.
And she had 14 years, and I made my first one on my own. And I came back home with a gallon Ziploc bag full and was like, "Mom, check this out." She's like, "Oh my God, where'd you get that?" I was like, "I made it. Try it."
Mm.
And that's where it kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
And then for some years after that, she stayed using. Every time I'd see her, she'd have her hand out,
Mm.
because she just ate it.
Oh.
So every time I'd come around, she'd be like, "Hey." And so then my stepdad at the time, he's passed away now, but he didn't know that she was using. So I'd have to put it, like the twang lemon salt
Mm-hmm.
things. I would have to put it inside there. And then like I would keep it in one of those and keep it in my pocket because like he knew that I was always eating that stuff because I was addicted to it too.
Yeah.
And so I would have one in my pocket with the label and the other one without the label. So the one with the label was the one with the stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just go up to her and just right in front of her, and she was like that, like it was sour,
Wow.
and then go on about her business.
Mm.
So, and then once I got sober and got clean, came up here, she was like, "Son, you don't know how much, like, that was the best thing that you've ever done for yourself and for me."
Mm.
Because now, I was taking years off her life while I was out there running the streets, and like, I may not be able to add those lives or those days back and those years back, but now I know that I'm not taking them away.
Mm.
She's not so stressed out, like, "Oh my God, is my son out here, in a gunfight, getting shot at and gonna get killed, or is he over here fixing to get busted?" Like, she's calm and she's cool and she's not, all over the place because,
Wow.
and she tells me every day how proud she is of
Damn.
me.
Wow.
And she's clean, so
Where does she live?
in Okmulgee, Oklahoma.
Oh, really? You ever get your mom out here or what?
I don't know. She's kind of like rooted in,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gave her. I had a house that my grandparents left me, and I gave her that house to get her out of her apartment whenever I left. So
Mm.
like, she doesn't want to leave that house because all the memories of grandma and grandpa and my uncle there. Like there's really nothing there for her.
Mm.
She doesn't want to get out of there.
Yeah.
But,
Wow. Man, that's such an incredible story because now you know what you're doing. How long you been with Safe and Sound Recovery?
about 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
Wow. Did you come skydiving?
No, I wanted to, but
Oh, okay.
unfortunately, I weighed 270 pounds.
You 270?
Yeah.
Man, you don't look 270.
Well, thanks.
Wow. So in your position, because you have a really good understanding, especially, being around some of the clinicians and, understanding, you know, addiction pretty well. Now, how closely do you collaborate with the clinical staff or case managers regarding client engagement?
Um, I mean, anytime like with the client engagement, I just kind of like, I guess you kind of like say kind of like freelance, because I just go around to them all. Like I have a pretty good rapport with all of them here.
Mm.
I can walk in the room and they'll all be like, Derrick,
Yeah.
so it's pretty cool. Like they love me, I love them.
Mm.
But as far as like if there's like an issue, or something of that sort, that kind of there's someone that needs to have a talk to or something like that, that's whenever their case manager or clinical staff will reach out to me and say, hey,
Mm.
do you mind, you have a good report with this one. Would you mind touching base to see what's going
Mm.
on? Yeah, sure. Pop
Yeah.
right on
Wow. So with all of this, it can be a lot of mixed emotions. A lot of people are working on themselves, and going through a lot of trauma and healing,
it.
which can be an
Absolutely.
extremely challenging role. How do you take care of yourself?
Prayer, meditation. I always look up, like if, like say that I'm dealing with a client and I don't have the answers immediately, of like what they're, or some, I don't want to feed them a line of BS. So I just stop and I look up
Mm.
and I just give it a minute. And then whatever comes out after that is not my words, but my higher power's words.
Mm.
So then that's whenever, but I stay in tune with my higher power and within myself. So like if there's something going on in here, I know and I get rid of it.
Wow. So outside of, just engaging with the clients, like how do you take care of yourself, like as far as like hobbies or any personal care? Like what else? What keeps you
Oh,
okay? Because dealing with a lot of the client's issues, or I mean, that can be a lot to take on at once. How do you fill up your cup outside of that, outside of
so
treatment?
outside of treatment, I for like without going to places so
Or no,
like
even if it's going like like whatever it is, if it's camping, adventure, whatever
okay.
it is.
Okay, well, like I like to go hiking
Mm.
and like photography. I
Oh.
really love to take pictures of nature
Mm.
and wildlife, and so like I have a friend on the Nextdoor app that we like post back and forth of different shots that we can capture.
Dang, I'm gonna have to get on that app. I love
Right. Yeah, and
camera.
it's great. And then also I love the beach.
Mm.
I love being out there. Sometimes I just like to get in my car and hit the 405 and just or the PCH and just go. Got
Mm.
a nice sound system in there, and I just turn it up and just go. Or I go to church every Sunday. I love to go get my hair cut. I love my barber. So like that's a whole new. It makes you feel like a whole new man.
Mm.
A little self care there. Um, it kind of sounds weird, but I like to go get my eyebrows waxed.
Mm.
I like the process of it.
Yeah.
Um, and meetings, of course, meetings.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll go to like I'll try to have at least 1 day a week where I go to my own personal meeting, like without anybody from here, any staff from here, anybody from here, like my own designated meeting that nobody that I really know from this community is going to be there.
Mm.
And so that way, like, if I do decide to share something in the meeting, it's not like that's my vulnerable point. You know what I mean? So like with having clients there, that or people that look up to me or whatever, like I can just be vulnerable there. Nobody's there to like, oh, so
Yeah. Well, so with that, like, looking at, where you're at today from this, your upbringing, your story. I mean, gosh, man. I mean, that is so much to have had to, it's a continuous journey of going inward, right? And with you not having to wake up and have to use a substance to get out of bed or just so
right.
reliant on it, um, how do you feel these days with that for someone that's like wanting what you have to not have that, like?
Look, my sideburns, everything's crawling right now. That's a good
Yeah.
question. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's wonderful. You know what I mean? Honestly, like, I mean, even with having this much time in, like don't get it wrong. You know what I mean? Those thoughts of, like that, like, like for instance, how people say in a meeting, like, my worst day sober is better than my best day high.
Mm,
Like, I honestly, I don't get that. Because like I think back and like I think like I did have like I think it's kind of cliche. You know what I mean to say that, but like because I did have really good times, but whenever they were bad, and all those good times led to the bad times. You know what I mean? So like, and I guess now that I think about it, like I guess they weren't really that great. Like I think because it wasn't like true happiness.
yeah.
Now my times are true happiness. Like I can remember them. Um, I go to sleep now. Before I didn't go to sleep. Like whenever I finally did go, whenever I got some rest, it was because I finally just passed out.
Mm,
And most of the time, it was whenever I was either driving or sitting at a stoplight.
mm.
Because I wasn't trying to stop. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of went off track of your question there.
No, no, that was yeah. No, it's just because we forget to kind of look back at those days to where we were so dependent on something,
Right.
and like the whole looking over your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
All
Oh
these old
yeah. The
things.
paranoia, the everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
now I don't have to do that. And if I look over my shoulder, it's because I'm changing lanes. You know what I mean? It's not
yeah,
because I'm worried about who's gonna run up on me or if the cops are back there. It's literally for my safety and others' safety.
yeah,
Me changing lanes. So
yeah, because what you're doing, like you said, like your mom can go to bed at night now. She's not worried
oh yeah,
about you. Now you are also in a position to where you are giving that back to other moms and dads and siblings. Like
yes sir.
and you're doing this a lot of it, which you really don't have to do. It sounds like you're
Correct.
going a little above and beyond some of these things, and for anyone that's out there that will watch this, if someone's currently struggling, like the individual themselves struggling, what would you suggest uh, that they do if they're struggling right now?
Speak. Reach out for help.
Yeah,
Not really. I mean, like, and don't just keep it in and keep struggling. You know what I mean? Because we're all the same.
yeah.
There's other people just like you that have went through the same thing that you have, and we're here to help.
So now, if you had to explain who Derrick is, who is Derrick today?
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, I know me, but like,
Who is Derrick? You gotta brag. Not bragging, but just who are you today?
I'm a whole different person than I was 2.5 years ago. That's for sure. So like, um, before, like, another human life didn't mean anything to me, and now another human life means everything to me. I value like plants, trees. I used to. I wouldn't care if I was out in the woods and it got in my way, it's knock it down and cut it out the way.
Mm,
Or if another person got in my way, knock it down, get it out of my way. But now I see another person down and out. I'm like, hey, I lend a hand to help them out. So I'm just that guy. Like I love who I am today. I can't really explain who I am today, but
yeah.
like I'm 100 and what is it? I did 180% turnaround
Yeah,
or 180,
yeah.
180-degree turnaround for sure.
Sounds like it. I mean, that's absolutely powerful, and whoever's watching this is showing you are truly a testament to what is actually possible for somebody.
Right.
From how you grew up to your story, man. I mean, it's extremely powerful, and I'm actually very grateful to be uh, interviewing you.
Thank you.
Now, one last question: do you have anything exciting coming up, or a goal that you are trying to work towards that you are so passionate about?
Right now, my main goal is obviously getting my kids and my wife up here.
Mm.
So,
Are you getting closer to that?
yes,
Heck yeah.
yes, I am.
Well, that's it, you
My
know.
savings is growing quite a bit again.
Heck yeah. Well, awesome, man. I just met you, and I'm extremely freaking proud of you. And this is was the highlight of my day, hearing this type of stuff. And thank you so much for taking your time. You got lights on you, you got cameras
I
on you.
know.
You're a gift. You're a gift,
Hopefully, I
my
handled
son.
that well.
You did great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank